Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Shanae, and today I'm so excited to start a new series of videos where I will be sharing all of my kitchen favorites, from essential tools and gadgets, from pots and pans, everything baking, and all the small appliances that I have and use in my kitchen. This video will be really helpful if you're building a new kitchen and you don't know where to start, or if you're just starting to cook and you don't know what kind of equipment you need in your kitchen. This video is for you. Before I start sharing all the things I love, I would like to share my philosophy in my kitchen. I like to think of myself as a minimalist. I don't like to have a lot of tools and a lot of gadgets, and I'd like to stick with the bare minimum essential things. But obviously, because I love cooking, I've gathered a lot of things over time. But today, I will be breaking down this video series into 5 parts. We'll cover essential tools for cooking, and then in the next video I will share essential tools for baking, and then I will share my small kitchen appliances that I use in my kitchen and I love. I will share why I love those things. In another video I will share all of my prep containers that I shared in my meal prep video. I get a lot of questions about my recommendations and the containers that I love, and I think I have to dedicate another video to it. And lastly, I will cover not essential but nice to have tools and gadgets in the kitchen. So like I said, today we'll cover essential tools for cooking. If you're starting to cook for yourself or for your family, this is the bare minimum things that you need to have in your kitchen. We'll start with the most important things. I think without knife, you won't be able to cook anything. So the knife is the most essential thing, in my opinion. And I recommend good quality chef's knife, like this one. You don't have to have expensive one. Just so, by the way, right away, I just want to say there are so many different knives out there, and sometimes it can be intimidating to go into the world of knives. But I started with this very cheap Victorinox chef's knife. I used to love it. It's really lightweight and pretty big. Then I bought this Wustwurf. I'm butchering the name, by the way. This one is 8-inch. This is my favorite chef's knife. I use it all the time. It has a little nice weight to it, and it's not very big, and it's really comfortable in my arms. One important thing is, if you can, go ahead and do the shopping in store so that you can feel the knife. It needs to feel comfortable in your hand. And the next set of knives that you need is paring knife. I think it's really important to have a paring knife, because for small jobs, like when you need to carve a chicken or slice fruit or small vegetables like jalapeno, this paring knife is really, really important. I have 2 versions of paring knives here. One is a little bit pricey, one is really, really cheap. This one is also Victorinox, and I bought it on Amazon. It's really lightweight. And another one is also Wustwurf. I think I bought this as a set during Thanksgiving sale. So that was really good deal. If you can, go ahead and shop when there is a good sale. The third knife that I highly recommend is bread knife. Bread knife is serrated knife, cuts the bread really nice and clean. I just feel like a regular knife doesn't cut bread really nicely, so I highly recommend bread knife. Bread knife is not very expensive. I bought this on Amazon too. This is from Mercer. As far as knives, you only need 3 knives, I think. Paring knife, chef's knife, and bread knife. 90% of the time you will be using your chef's knife. The next important thing you need is a cutting board. Now, I have this beautiful Boost block wood cutting board that I absolutely love, but it's really expensive. You don't have to go expensive cutting board to start with. I have one wooden block for cutting vegetables, fruits, breads, and everything like that. And then I also have a plastic cutting board that I use for raw meat. I don't like to cross-contaminate, but I really love a wood cutting board because it's really, really gentle on my knives, and it's such a pleasure to work with. So the next I want to talk to you about is utensils. I think a wooden spatula or wooden spoon like this is absolutely necessary for cooking. I use this all the time for stirring, sauteing, for practically everything. It is my workhorse in my cooking. And the next set of equipment is tongs. I love tongs. It's just also right next after the wooden spoon, I use the tongs all the time. I have two versions, one with rubber end, silicone end, and one is just stainless steel. If you would like just to get one, I highly recommend the one with stainless steel one without this rubber thing. But this is convenient when you're using on the non-stick pan. So the next tool is this Zester. Zester is not important if you just think about zesting citrus like lime and lemon, but I use this more often for grating garlic and ginger, and it's super convenient. I actually get rid of my garlic press. I only use my Zester for grating garlic. I have two versions of Zester, and I recommend this one over this one. I like them both because this has a bigger surface, but if you would like to get just one, start with this one. By the way, none of this is sponsored, and I will link all this equipment in the description below, but those links will be affiliate links, and if you shop through those links, I will get a little bit commission, so at no cost for you. So thank you so much for supporting us. And the next tool I think it's really important is a spatula, fish spatula. I use this all the time as well. I use this for my crepes all the time, for crepes, pancakes, whenever I need to turn something. I use this one. It's really nice and flexible and super thin. Highly recommend this spatula. Of course, you need a ladle for serving soups and whatnot. If you love mashed potatoes, I highly recommend this potato masher. I've used many different potato mashers, and I specifically love this potato masher because it has nice smaller holes. There's a wavy one that doesn't mash it as good as this one. So I highly recommend this one. I'm including it in essentials because mashed potato is one of my go-to meals, and this one is essential for making really good mashed potatoes. The next thing is a vegetable peeler. Also very, very important for peeling vegetables, obviously, but I also like to make carrot ribbons or zucchini ribbons. It works beautifully as well. I don't like V-shape peeler. I find this one more comfortable, but I know there are people who use V-shape peelers and swear by it, but I'm in the camp of straight peelers. Let me know if you like this one or the V peeler in the comments below. I would love to know. The next important thing is can opener. I know I was debating whether I should include this in essentials, but then I think back, and whenever I'm using like canned tomatoes or canned beans, I don't know how to open it without this. Like, I mean, yeah, you can use knife, but why would you destroy your knife to open a can, right? So this specific Good Cook can opener is fantastic. I love it. I love this one. Super sleek and opens beautifully. The next important gadget, in my opinion, is instant thermometer. I mean, you have to have an instant thermometer. I waited for a very long time before I invested in one, and I kid you not, I use it all the time. Like, it's not a guessing game anymore when I'm cooking chicken or steak or anything. This thermopan reads the temperature within 3 seconds, and that's why I really love it. If you check it out, it's a little bit expensive, but it's totally worth it. I went through many different thermometers, and I've wasted more money on trying cheaper versions, and I just wish I started right away with this one. You won't regret it. Okay, the next important thing, in my opinion, is baking sheet. This is called baker's half. This baking sheet is really versatile. You can roast chicken on this, you can roast vegetables. Really good quality, heavy duty baking sheet that you will be using over and over again. I have like 5 of these sheets, and this one is actually less used, newer version, and I have the very ugly ones, but that just shows how much I use them. So definitely get this baking sheet because you will be using for so many different things. Now let's move on to pots and pans, and I'll show you all my essential pots and pans and why you need them. So I gathered all my pots and pans here, but I forgot to mention one tool earlier with my gadgets and tools. This is the grater. I love grater for shredding cheese, potatoes, anything. Like, it's very well used tool in my kitchen as well, so I think it's really important to have one. I've gone through multiple different graters, and I've been using this Oaks of Run for last 5 years, I believe, and it's really sturdy. I love this one and highly recommend this one. Essential thing for you is this casserole pan. I have multiple different versions of casserole pans, but one large one is most important because that way you can make a big batch of lasagna, scalloped potatoes, or different kinds of casserole dishes. I think casserole dish is a must-have. And also, the next is mixing bowls. You have to have some good mixing bowls. I have lots of mixing bowls, as you can imagine, because I cook a lot, but like 2 different sizes is great starting point. Moving on to the skillets. If you're just starting from scratch and you just want essentials, I recommend 2 skillets. One 10-inch non-stick skillet. I have this Anulon skillet, which is really versatile. You can use fry eggs and everything. Non-stick 10-inch skillet, and then one large skillet. And for the large one, I recommend stainless steel or cast iron skillet. And one important thing I would like to mention is if you're shopping for a new one, get one that you can with the oven safe handles. This one doesn't have oven safe handle, but it has high sides, which I love. But I do have other pans that has a big skillet with oven safe handles, so that's why it's not too important. But if you're shopping for one, do shop for the one with oven safe handles and high sides and big large skillet. You'll be using it for so many different things, like pasta dishes, when you're stirring something, frying things, and really versatile. Up next, this is one of the most used pots, saucepans. I cook smaller batch of soups or rice, oatmeal. I use it all the time. Make sure it has a nice fitting cover, and you should be good. Definitely have to have a smaller pot saucepan like this. And up next, enamel Dutch ovens is very important. I have this Le Creuset Dutch oven, which is pretty pricey. You don't have to go with a pricey version, just regular. There are cheaper versions like $50 cast iron, enameled cast iron Dutch ovens at Walmart and whatnot, so definitely those are still good. I just have the Le Creuset one. This is the most versatile, the most used pan in my kitchen. I keep it on my stovetop because it's beautiful, and I also use it all the time. I cook pasta in this, like, you know, when you have to have lots of water to boil pasta. I make soups, I make stew because it can go right into your oven, pot roast. You can cook pretty much everything in this cast iron. So definitely highly recommend a good Dutch oven. So these are basically it. Like, I think I gathered about 25, less than 25 items to start your kitchen. And with these tools, you will be able to cook pretty much any meal for your family. I hope you enjoyed this video and find it useful. If you have any questions about any of the tools I mentioned today, go ahead and leave me in the comments below. And in my next video, I'll be sharing my baking essentials. If you're into baking, I will share all the starter kit basically for baking. And then following that, I will talk to you about my favorite small kitchen appliances. And then I will talk to you about meal prep containers. If you would like to see all these videos, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification button so that you will get notified as soon as I publish these videos. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.